Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog, which, as you know from the title, is going to be about immigration. That's the subject for today. But what I have to say about immigration today is going to be so short that I thought I would give you all a couple of extra treats, a couple of bonuses, starting with an exciting account of local color here where I live now in Cordova, Tennessee. As you know from past vlogs, I moved here only this last January after living in New York City for 40 years. Now I know what you're thinking, well, who cares about New York City, right? Times Square, Statue of Liberty, the New World Trade Center, Broadway, the art museums, who cares about all that stuff? On the other hand, Cordova, Tennessee, wow, I mean, barbecue and barbecue and barbecue and barbecue. It's understandable that you would want to know all about Cordova, Tennessee, especially those of you who are not lucky enough to live here and can't afford or don't have the time to visit here. You're probably wondering, Gene, you live in Cordova, Tennessee. Can you tell us all about the excitement and the, well, more important, the difference between New York City and Cordova, Tennessee? Because, well, you're probably going to be surprised, but there are differences between Manhattan, New York City, New York, and Cordova, Tennessee. Yes, astonishing, but it's true. So one thing that there is definitely no shortage of in Cordova, Tennessee, besides barbecue, is rain. It rains so much here. It's really unbelievable. You'll be looking at a perfectly sunny day, then 2 drops of rain, and then a flood, a deluge, cats and dogs, just tons of rain. And once that rain starts, it'll last all day or all night or all day and all night. Here's some footage that I just took just a little while ago right outside my office windows.
Certainly short-term expenses and operating margin.
And he said, look, this is the right thing to do for the customers and for the company.
The second difference between Cordova, Tennessee and New York City, well, in New York they have pets. People have cats and dogs and birds and turtles and fish and those kind of pets. But here, my neighbor, Annie, very nice lady, has a pet pig, a 300-pound pet pig. And, oh, by the way, its name is Pocahontas. It's a female pig, Pocahontas. So why do I mention Pocahontas today? Because, well, number one, you don't get many pet pigs in New York City, but also because I have a little arrangement with Annie. Well, not just me. She's got a whole roster of people that help her feed Pocahontas when she has to go out of town. As a last resort, she came to me a few weeks ago. I fed Pocahontas. Now I'm doing it again, and the reason I'm doing it is because she's going to watch my place for me a little bit while I'm away, and she's going to collect and hold my mail for me. So that's a deal. That's why I'm feeding this pig. Now, the reason I mentioned both of those is because when you put it together, I've got to go out into that rain, and I got to feed that pig. And I can't go, well, people used to go through her house to just go into the backyard and just feed the old pig. But the last time somebody did that, or one of the neighbors who did that, the pig bit her. So now there's a little door cut into the wooden fence in her backyard, so I've got to go out my own door, down a little hill, and all the way to behind her backyard and feed this pig, which I mean, it's not my favorite thing to do. It's tolerable, but when it's pouring rain like that, no, it's not going to be that much fun. So that's what you're missing by not living in Cordova, Tennessee, next to a lady who has a pet 300-pound pig. I know you're jealous, but that's the way it is. What can I say? Deal with it. Now I'm going to go on to a new item here. I'll just mention this briefly. Well, let me put the headline up here. Nadler Schiff release feisty statement on criminal probe. Leftists call to impeach Barr. So what's that all about? What that's all about is we have the Inspector General about to issue a report about the provenance of the so-called, well, I won't even say so-called because we know what it is, the Russian collusion hoax. How did that get all started? How does the FBI go to court and get this FISA warrant to spy on Carter Page and the Trump campaign? How did that all happen when there was no basis, as we know now, for such an investigation? So no justification for this warrant. The Inspector General is about to issue a report. It's rumored that this report is going to make some criminal referrals. I don't want to get ahead of the game. I mean, that's what these Democrats do. That's what they did with the whole Ukraine phone call thing. As Trump said today in one of his impromptu press conferences on the way to a plane to go fly to a rally or whatever, that when the whistleblower came with the whistleblower's information or so-called information about this phone call, before doing anything, why couldn't the House have contacted the White House, Donald Trump, and say, we got this complaint, do you have a transcript or a memo or something about this phone call? Then Trump would have provided it, as he already has. The House would have looked at it and then seen that there was nothing there or no reason for an investigation. But they didn't do that. They didn't call the White House. They didn't wait for anything. They just went ahead and they launched this probe, this investigation. That's what they did in that case. Now what they're doing in this case, as this headline shows, it looks like John Durham in Connecticut and William Barr in Washington, it looks like this investigation is turning into a criminal investigation. So call your office, John Brennan. I think he's already lawyered up and gotten a lawyer. I would get one if you're Comey too. Maybe some other people are going to get lawyers. But what they're doing here, obviously, with this headline, with this article, is they're getting ahead of the game. They want to discredit Barr and Durham. They want to discredit them. They want to taint anything that they come up with. They want to, well, they're obviously operating on the assumption that the American people are stupid, because they're not stupid. If Barr or Durham or the Justice Department or any and all of the above make a criminal charge, one or more criminal charges, charge certain people with crimes, they're going to have to back that up with evidence. And that evidence will be public. And when the public sees that evidence, the people are going to base their decision on the evidence, not on anything that Jerry Nadler and Adam Schiff and Nancy Pelosi and any other partisan Democrat says, especially whatever John Brennan or James Clapper or anybody who gets charged with a crime. If they do, I think people will just go by the evidence. I think they are in real hot water, and if there is a criminal charge and a trial, this may very well happen during the election campaign and maybe even during the primaries. That will be something to watch, and I will be watching and I will report to you. And now we get to immigration, the main subject of this vlog. And the reason I gave you all those extra treats is because I'm just going to show you a video now which really says everything. There's really not that much to add to it. It's an interview with a new American citizen, somebody who just became an American citizen right before this interview. It's a very short interview, but what's interesting is the Democrats have made immigration a major part of their campaign, their platform. And the way they've addressed the issue of immigration is to try to tar the Republicans and Donald Trump specifically as racist, as anti-immigrant, to turn immigrants against the Republican Party and against Donald Trump. So without any further ado, here is the video, and then I'll come back to wind up.
Manny, you just became a citizen of the United States. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's definitely exciting.
So you're a first-time voter, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And who will you be casting that vote for?
Donald J. Trump. I love you, big guy.
And what's your reason for supporting the president?
Immigration. Build the wall. I am so tired of it as an immigrant, I'm telling you. There's so many wrong immigrants coming in. We need the best. We need the brightest coming in.
I don't think immigration is going to be quite the wedge issue for our Democratic friends in the upcoming election that they think it's going to be. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with anybody you think would like the video too. Got any comments? Put them in the comments section. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And come back and see me again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do, bye.